And good morning is 7:04 on this Friday, March 5th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's a Friday morning, and believe it or not, the sun is shining. A fantastic day, and no frost last night. Surprised me. But anyway, we welcome you to Coleman and Company, and we're glad to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. Justin Martin joins us this morning. Justin, good morning. Justin is Assistant Vice President and Office Manager, Tennessee Boulevard. Okay, how long have you been doing that?
I've been with the bank for 9 years. I've been over at that office for 4 years.
4 years? Oh. Well, are you still doing a lot of business there? At one time, and you probably know this, maybe more than I, but I remember when they talked about putting one there. There were some questions about the sanity of those who made that decision. But it turned out what I heard was later on, it was one of the more active branches of Wilson Bank here in town.
Yes, sir. We still remain one of the busiest branches in our network, normally the second busiest branch in our network. So we serve a tremendous amount of the bank's customers each day.
Yeah. Well, how did you get started in this? Did you work somewhere else before, or did you start directly in banking with Wilson Bank?
Yeah, so I worked at a community bank before, transitioned to Wilson Bank and Trust, but I worked from everything from as a teller to a new accounts rep, then collections, a lender, and then most recently an office manager. So,
you enjoy being an office manager?
Yeah, I do. It's got its advantages, and sometimes it stresses as well, but enjoy working with my staff and customers.
Well, even though you're in charge of the branch there, you still are lending money all the time, I think. Right, that's part of your job too.
Yes, sir. That's one of my main focuses. I oversee the day-to-day operations of the office, but also I'm very concerned about business development for the office, and I'm a lender there, and so that's my main focus day-to-day is lending and meeting the credit needs of our community.
Well, we've talked many times about interest rates, how low they are, and every time they get a little lower, we think you can't go any further. But and I don't know, but they're just about as low as they can go, I think. What do you think?
That's right. They're still remain at historic lows, and that's a great point you bring up. It's a great time if you're looking to build, if you're looking to buy that home, or even if you're a business owner and you've been in that business for some time and you've been leasing or paying rent, you think, I really want to own this location, or maybe I need more space and want to buy a location. We've got some great offers right now for those business owner-occupied properties.
Sometimes, if one is borrowing money, you might worry about the rate being changed later on. I think you do have some loans that can be locked in for the duration of the loan, the interest rate.
That's exactly right. We've got several products to meet customers' needs, and with rate concerns, we do have locked periods on different products as well.
Mm-hmm. So you need to borrow money. Justin Martin's waiting there at Tennessee Boulevard, 200 Tennessee Boulevard to be exact, and one of the real busy places. And of course today is Friday. Banks are always busy on Friday, aren't they?
That's right.
You have people coming in to deposit their check, cash their check, if they get paid. I don't know how many people. It used to be everybody just about got paid weekly, but and some still do. Some it's a little bit longer period of time. But anyway, that's another thing we might mention here, because I know a lot has been said about this. People who maybe had a really good interest rate on their home, even a second mortgage or something. They can refinance, and that's still a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still a big thing. If you just want to do a rate refinance, or maybe you're not looking to move, but you want to utilize some of that market appreciation, some of that equity in your home, and do some improvements. We've got some great options as well there with home equity lines of credit.
Well, it's a great time if you're wanting to borrow money. It's not so great if you've got money that you're wanting to get interest on. But somehow you've made even the low interest work, and Wilson Bank is still one of our leading banks, not only here in Wilson County, but in all Middle Tennessee, really, and had a great year. And I'm sure you're looking forward to even better year here in 2021.
That's exactly right, Coleman.
Well, anything, we've got about a minute left here this morning. Anything else you want to tell us? What about your staff? How many people you got there?
So we have a staff of 9 employees, and so I just want to give a shout out to them. We couldn't be successful without each one of those team members.
Well, that's right. I mean, you can't do everything, and that's why they've got you there to be office manager to make sure everybody knows everybody's in their place, doing what they're supposed to do, and it makes for a great operation, I'm sure.
That's right.
And you'll be open till 6 today. That's the way it is every Friday, right?
That's right. Lobby till 5, and then the drive-through up until 6. So stop in, give us a call if we can help.
All right, thank you much. Justin Martin, Assistant Vice President, Office Manager for the Tennessee Boulevard branch of Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. Justin, thank you much. Okay, we're almost 10 minutes after the hour, and let me turn the volume down just a little bit. And then
Good morning, Coleman. It's great to be here on Friday morning.
Oh, Senator Mark Bodie, our Friday Senate report. What kind of week you had?
I've had a great week. Things are moving along very, very quickly. You know, we always come in January to get our session started, and typically we're out like the last week of April or first week in May-ish. So when we're looking at where we are today, we're getting close to being about halfway through. And committees are full. Everything's getting debated. Things are getting full on the floor. We're starting to debate on the floor the issues that are coming up. So it's been very hectic, very busy. Debbie has had me appointments. A lot of them have been by Zoom calls and such, but I can't get off one Zoom call before the next one's waiting on me.
Well, it can get a little hectic that way, but I guess you look forward to the weekend to relax maybe a little.
I absolutely do. However, I'm starting to do speaking engagements again, and we are been all around the district, and there's more and more people that want to get out, want to get together, and so the crowds are starting to come back to some of the engagements that we've been doing. So we're starting to actually do traveling and meeting people back in the district again.
Well, I don't know how much attention you pay, and I'll be honest, other than what I maybe hear in the news or something, don't pay that much attention to it. But what about our COVID numbers? Do you have anything on that?
I sure do. So right now, if we were to look, we got about 13% of us have had the vaccinations. So, we're moving those numbers along, and we're doing somewhere between 40 to 50,000 new vaccinations every single day. So we're going to be pretty quick having all the people that want the vaccinations, they'll have them. In fact, next week we're moving into another phase. So caregivers all the way down to people that are 16 are going to be starting to get them if you have somebody there you're taking care of and they got underlying health conditions. We're at 65 and older right now, and we're starting to see more places where somebody can get vaccinations. We're even seeing some of the lines starting to go down a little bit as well. So we're making good progress that way. The numbers of people that are passing away, at one time we were over 100 people per day. Like yesterday, I believe we had either yesterday or the day before, it was 16 people that had passed away.
16?
Yep. So it's still we don't want anybody to pass away from it, but it's not what it used to be. Our total numbers, where in the hospital, for example, are less than a third of what they were when they were at the high. So we are really making good progress on that. The people that are getting it, where at one time it was high, it was 18, 19, 20% positivity rate, it's down to like under 10% now. So every sign that we have shows that we're beating this and we're getting ahead of it.
Well, when things were relaxed a little bit a couple of weeks ago, there was some that I heard say, well, we're going to, in about 2 weeks, we're going to know whether this is going to be a detriment or not. So so far, it's not.
Absolutely not. And we watch like Texas; they've opened up completely. You can do anything you want in Texas. There's no restrictions whatsoever. So we're watching that state as well to see what's happening. I will tell you, though, there's a lot of people coming over the border illegally in Texas, and they are not tested, and they're going all over. So we feel that
I even read where some of them had tested positive for COVID.
Yes.
And that's not good.
That is not good, but that's a different issue, and I'm not for the open borders like we currently have. I would have much rather had it like we had it before. However, here in Tennessee, we're doing better. We are doing better. And we got something else that happened. We were just talking with Justin a minute ago about our lower interest rates. Tennessee went and refinanced all of our bonds. And when we did that, we took advantage of two things. One, the lower interest rates, and two, the great credit history. We've got the highest credit of almost any state in the United States, and we were able to save over $112 million in savings. just interest savings. That means that's our tax dollars we don't have to pay. So I thought that was a really good move by the state financially.
And we did something similar on a smaller scale in the county recently, too. So in Tennessee, I think we know how to do things a little bit better than some of these other states.
That's exactly right. So we did Wilson County, we did. However, if you look at Davidson County, it's one of the worst counties or cities in the entire nation because they got such a high debt rate, and I don't know how they're going to pay all their bills. And I will tell you, Coleman, if they come to the state for a bailout, my answer is no. I'm not going to let Wilson County bail out Davidson County. They've got themselves into a mess, and they're going to have to find a way to get out of it.
They need some help. I don't know. The leadership in the past is maybe largely, I think, responsible for this. You don't spend money you don't have.
That's exactly right. We don't do it at the state. And it's hard to say no. I mean, we got so many good places we'd like to spend money and give more money to, but we have to be adults, we have to be reasonable, and we have to be prudent with the money we have and say no, because there's needs and wants. And
sometimes we have to bite the bullet.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But on the other hand, like, we are in good financial condition, so we're giving Wilson County about $3 million. So if we were to break that down, the county itself, we're going to give about $1.6 million. The latest population estimates that we got, this would have been from the Census Bureau, would be we got about 144,657 people in Wilson County. And that would have been in 2019. And so with that, county's going to get a 1.6 million. We're going to have Watertown. We feel that they got about 1,523. They're going to get $63,326. Next would be Lebanon. Lebanon has about 36,479 people. They're going to get $828,221. And finally, Mount Juliet. They're the biggest city, but just barely, by only like 600 people. Mm-hmm. But they've got roughly 37,029 people, and they're going to get $840,256. And this is money that the state's saying we're going to help give to the locals, the cities and counties, to pick up some of the things that they lost perhaps in the COVID issues and so forth.
Any strings attached, really?
Not really. This is some money. A lot of times the state will give that money and they want the strings. There's not near the strings that we have on this money that we had before. So we're trying to let the locals make some decisions with what they need the most.
Okay. With that, we need to take our break. Our Friday Senate report with Senator Mark Bodie will continue in a moment here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And to 717, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, they have a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We did have a wreck a few minutes ago on 40 westbound near Fessler's, but TDOT moved it pretty quickly. But it's a good thing because traffic's really starting to build right there in that area. 109 coming down through Wilson County, headed towards the interstate, has picked up a minor wreck over on O'Brien Avenue near the library that's on the west side. And there's been a crash in the last few minutes out here at the intersection of Murfreesboro Pike and Hobson Pike. Check out the Andre Chicken Sandwich, now available at Princess Hot Chicken. Online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
The 33rd Annual Tennessee Beef Agribition returns to the James E. Ward Agricultural Center in Lebanon, March 12th through the 14th. The show and sale on Friday and Saturday will feature 5 different events, including Simmental, Hereford Horned and Pooled, Shorthorn, Angus, and Charolais. The Agribition Junior Show takes place Sunday. The 2021 Agribition will feature one of the largest trade shows in the Southeast, March 12th through the 14th at the James E. Ward Agricultural Center in Lebanon.
The Farm Bureau Expo is your premier location for an event of any scale, making meeting in the middle easy and accessible for event planners and guests. The Expo proudly participates in the Tennessee Pledge to allow our guests to attend events with confidence. For booking details or to explore events to attend, visit farmbureauexpo.com or check out our Facebook page at Farm Bureau Expo. We look forward to seeing you at the Farm Bureau Expo in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Hi, everybody. It's springtime football with Cumberland University. I'm Tommy Bryan, and along with Bob Lee, we'll be bringing you all the exciting play-by-play action of Cumberland Phoenix football. Friday home games this year will be on the radio. All the exciting action of Cumberland University football on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
Coleman and Company, welcome to our program. If you're just joining us, Senator Mark Pody is here. We're going to kind of pick up where we left off. A lot of things happening in Washington, and I know that it's on the news, it's on the internet, it's on Facebook. We're all concerned, and here in Tennessee, I think with us being a more conservative state, the general population, we don't like some of the things we're seeing.
No, Coleman, I will tell you that I am so glad we live in Tennessee and not Washington, D.C. But what is happening in Washington and what they're passing in the House and is going to the Senate is something that I think all of us need to be extremely concerned about. You know, one of them is what they're calling, for example, the Equality Act. And as they're doing this in the pages in there, they are going to be putting a lot of strings on our churches, as well as our other public events and so forth. What we used to think would be freedom and rights and so forth, they're trying to strip them away in the guise of hate speech and in the guise of saying we're protecting everybody and you can't say anything against anybody in any situation. And this has gone way, way too far. Even, for example, some of the things that are going to be saying is transgenders should have equal access to anybody, any bathroom, any sporting events that they want. If somebody feels that they're a boy, whether they were born that way or not, they should have access to everything boys do. If they feel they're a girl, they should have access to anything a girl does. This includes things like bathrooms and such. I am extremely concerned about what they're trying to pass, and such a huge, huge bill all at one time.
Now this is past the House, right?
Past the House.
And it's up to the Senate now as to whether or not it will become law.
That's correct. And so if the Senate even changes a little bit, it'll have to go back to the House before it would go to the president's desk. But I've been talking to a lot of pastors this week, and they have been very concerned, and rightfully so, because as you read the details of the bill, if you just hear the news media say some things about it, they say, oh, it's all good and don't worry about it. But when they say it's in the details, this is really serious stuff in the details. And our local churches need to be very concerned about what they're trying to pass right now in Washington.
Well, how does this square with the amendment that says we have free speech?
They are going to be putting it and classifying it as hate speech. Because I can't say I might have free speech, but there are certain things I can't say,
right?
And they're going to actually be putting some things underneath, for example, civil rights, Title IX, so that they can say that just like race, sex, religious, they're going to say that sexual orientation would be protected underneath perhaps Title IX as well. So you can't say anything or do anything against that class of individuals as well. So they are really trying to elevate a lot of things that we would probably not prefer here in Tennessee.
If this should pass, and I have my doubts, quite frankly, but we do have one senator who is a Democrat from West Virginia who sometimes votes the other way. If he should do that, that would be 51-49, and it wouldn't be a 50-50 tie and be broken by the vice president. But if this does become law, aren't they just inviting a bunch of legal action, a bunch of lawsuits to challenge this later on?
I believe so, yes. And I will tell you that the new administration has given, however, all of the everybody across the country, any of the appointees that were done by Trump as far as the individuals that prosecute and such, were asked to resign. And he's appointing all brand new ones for the judicial part that way. And he's already doing that. He's across the country, including here in Tennessee.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking that, I mean, even there are citizens who could challenge this. I mean,
yes.
The law allows that.
It does. And I know that there'll be some groups that are going to be standing up to try and challenge these. And we're fortunate that we do have a more conservative Supreme Court, as well as a lot of more district courts that are a little bit more conservative, and I think that we could find some sanity there. But the mere fact that it's going through this is a big warning flag for us.
You're getting a lot of calls about this from your constituents.
I'm getting a lot of it from pastors. And I go to a lot of different churches. It's almost every other Sunday. It's like I'm at a different church, kind of sharing the message of the Lord, but also the deal about separation between church and state. And, that's not a true statement. That's not nowhere in the Constitution is that. And I kind of actually go and different pastors have me come in and we talk about that. Mm-hmm. And I can share, here's what different churches can do and what they can't do in standing up for our political process.
Well, as we think about amendments to the Constitution, there's the Second Amendment, and I think there's some legislation being proposed. It has to do with right to carry. That's not exactly the way it's referred to, but I've heard there's at least 3 different bills being considered right now.
That's exactly right. The Second Amendment, of course, says that the right to carry shall not be infringed on. The right to carry a firearm shall not be infringed on. And there's a lot of pieces of legislation that we've done that have infringed on them, either by putting taxes on it or regulations on it and so forth. And there's about half the states, I think, are getting close to 17 states that have it just you can just buy a gun and carry it. You don't have to have anything. Then there's some that you have to have a little bit of training or whatever. Some states say that you can carry it openly. Some states say you can carry it concealed. So there's a lot of different ways that people are doing it in different states. It's not consistent across the nation right now.
What's the proposed legislation here? And if you've taken a side yet, if 3 different bills, there's got to be little difference in each one of them.
There is, but I will tell you exactly how I've done this on every single piece of legislation. If it's pro Second Amendment, I vote for it. So I don't think I have to take a choice between 1, 2, or 3. Whatever one comes, I'll vote for every single one of them. Whatever comes through, I'm very comfortable. Anything that we can do to protect our Second Amendment, I'll do. Now, is there some that are better than others? I would say yes. Are there some things that I think, I wish this part wasn't in that bill or in that bill, those words? But whatever we can do to move forward, I've been very supportive of it.
Yeah. We got about 4 minutes. What else is happening? I know you always bring more material and we have time to get through, but...
Well, and so we talked about Constitution. Well, first I want to make sure everybody knows this is the first Friday of the month. That means I'm going to be at the Chamber.
You're going to be at the Chamber of Commerce.
8 o'clock, so I'm there, and I'm there for a couple hours this morning. And so if anybody has issues, questions, Debbie actually comes down and she takes notes. She handles things as much as she can right there. She'll make phone calls to TennCare or whatever, unemployment issues, and we want to help people get through those, whatever we can. We did talk a little bit about our Constitution. There's a couple of amendments coming in for our Constitution that we actually debated on this week.
Our state Constitution.
State Constitution. Okay. One of them is, and this is what people will be able to vote on in next year. And so it's got to go through twice, 2 different sessions. The first time it has to go through with at least 50% majority to pass in both houses, and it has to be 2/3 majority in both houses, and it'll go on the gubernatorial election. And the first one is going to talk about what happens if our governor is disabled and he cannot be governor. So if he's in a car accident, injury, whatever, right now it doesn't say anything in our Constitution what happens. So this would be saying if he is disabled for a short period of time, it would go to the lieutenant governor, and that's who would be making decisions. And it's important that we do have a chain in the Constitution of what does happen if somebody can't provide for their duties. The second one is going to be how we do the Attorney General, and I'm going to be very straight. I wish that it was elected by the people, and instead of being elected by the people, the Supreme Court's going to be saying that they're going to give some recommendations and nominations, and then the General Assembly are going to be the ones that are going to vote to say who they like or who they don't like. But at least it's somebody voting on it, not just an appointment. And so it's a start, and that looks like it's going to be through. This is the second time it's been through. It's already passed on 50% last session, so this is going to have 2/3, and I've seen the vote record and who's got it, and they're going to have that. So I believe that'll be on the ballot. And then,
well, is there much difference in the percentage? You got 33 senators, 99 members of the House, but
yep.
What's the percentage you got to have?
66% in both houses. Yep. So both houses have to have 6.
You think you'll have that then?
I believe so. Yes. So 22 members of the Senate, and then 66 in the, and I believe that both houses have that. Then there's another one that's going to be talking about the right to work, and this is another one that would actually be kind of stopping more unions. A lot of the union folks are against this one, but those are some of the main ones.
What does it actually do?
It's going to make it harder for unions to kind of like recruit members, and so if you don't want to join that union, you don't have to. And it's pretty much that way right now, but they're going to make it in the Constitution is what that one's going through.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you that I did not vote for it the first time. And the reason we've had no issues since we've had this state, and it's...
And this would be a constitutional amendment.
It would be a constitutional
amendment.
amendment.
Which you don't think, or didn't think at least, was necessary.
Yeah, I'm not jumping because the Constitution is really a strong, important document, and I don't know if this would rise to that level of being that. Should we really have a constitutional amendment to do something like that? So I'm not opposed to the bill, but making a constitutional amendment, I still have some issues with. So I'm not trying to say I don't like some of the things, but a constitutional amendment should be really carefully and thoughtfully done. And I don't know if this raises to that level. But those are some of the things that we voted on there. We did also have, and I've got one constitutional amendment that did pass last time, and I'll be bringing it back up, and it says that pastors are allowed to serve in the legislature. Now, our Constitution in Tennessee says they can't, but there were court challenges that have overturned that and said that they can. And we even have pastors that are serving right down at the Capitol right now. I just want to make it consistent, so it doesn't say it in the state constitution when we have that already.
So this would be in the Constitution then, if you got your way.
So I would change that in the Constitution, and I think that'll pass as well.
Senator, we're out of time. Thank you so much. See you next Friday.
Coleman, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Senator Mark Pody, our Friday Senate report. We'll break here and more coming up on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Expect coming down I-40 through Mount Julian right now. You got all that traffic flow out of Wilson County into Davidson County. Long Hollow Pike at Cartwright Street up in Goodlettsville. There's just been a crash at that intersection. It's a minor wreck, but it's there on the west side. It's 5600 O'Brien Avenue near the library. Trying to improve through the intersection of Murfreesboro Pike at Hobson Pike, where we had two cars hit pretty hard earlier. Hey, Ripley's Aquarium in the Smokies will be hosting Sleep of the Sharks coming up March 28th. Find out now all the details. Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather. But just like the weather, one moment it's sunny, and the next, you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
Here comes the sun. Hey, Medina, here comes the sun. Spring is just around the corner.
Call us and we can come over and tell you what your home is worth in this market. And it's free.
Yes, free and no obligation. It's time to get ready for the spring buyers. Inventory is low. We have buyers who need listings.
Here comes the sun. And remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
It's all right.
With churches not being able to gather, we wanted to make sure our audience is aware of our regular Sunday morning programming. We call it God's Country. Starting at 7 to 7:15, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Then at 7:15 to 7:30, Old Path Missionary Baptist with Brother Jason Wheely. From 7:30 to 8, it's The Gospel Show, hosted by Miss Dean. 8 o'clock, it's College Hills Church with Minister Wilson McCoy. At 8:30 to 9, it's Word of God broadcast by Ronnie Briley. From 9 to 9:30, Hillcrest Baptist Church with Pastor John Ferguson. From 9:30 to 10:30, it's Call on God Today, hosted by Brother Kenneth Bowen. At 10:30, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. From 11 to 11:30, Maple Hill Church with Minister Rob Long. And from 11:30 to noon, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Join us each Sunday on WANT or WCOR or online at WANTFM.com.
In times of crisis, and especially when you're isolated, it helps to know someone has your best interest at heart. At Wilson Bank and Trust, standing strong for others has always been one of our most important roles, and we're still here for you now. Through these days of disruption and distancing, you can count on us to keep you connected with your financial services, and will continue to provide financial relief for households and businesses. Thanks for supporting our ongoing commitment to service. Working together, we'll weather this storm too. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Today, clouds will be on the increase with highs topping out in the upper 50s. By Saturday, bright sunny skies do return with temperatures climbing into the mid-50s. For Sunday, temperatures will warm up into the low 60s with plenty of sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Now to look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Welcome to part two. It is a Friday morning. We have a little more fun on Fridays. Maybe it's because of the scenery, or maybe it's who's here. It's time for us to talk with the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. We've got Miss Judy, we've got Medina here today, as pretty much usual anymore. Welcome to you both.
Good morning.
And, of course, they're the great people that offer the great service. They're on West Main Street. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. They're people you can trust. And Medina always says,
don't make a move without us. Well, I get in there twice today.
get us started, Miss Judy.
Well, last week, my nephew Wayne Oakley, he said, okay, was the word for
you claim him?
Oh, yes, I claim him. He's a good guy. But he keeps me straight most of the time. He always very informed on everything. But he texted us and said the word for the day is termite. Oh. So I'm going to tell Wayne the word for the day is septic, okay? But I was going to say a little bit about a septic system, because you hear, well, is the land perked? What's it perked for? Well, people go, what does that mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you buy a piece of property, and the first thing you want to make sure is, before you close on a piece of property, make sure that it does perk. And what does it perk for? Unless you just want to have a piece of land that you just want to hunt on or ride your bike on, because you cannot build a building if the land doesn't perk. And there's different ways that you can do if the land doesn't perk. The first way, there's other alternative ways to have it perked. But what that means is the land has to absorb so many gallons of water per minute, because when the septic tank, the waste goes into the septic tank, then the excess water has to run off, and that's where you have your field lines that run through. And in Wilson County, you have to have a perk site 1 and a perk site 2. So if the first perk site fails at any time, that you have a backup perk site. And a lot of people don't know that. They I got a perk site. You got to have 2 perk sites, an alternative. And that's what that means, is how fast does the water absorb, how fast does the soil absorb the water?
Okay.
And
so that's what perking is all
that's
about.
what perk is. And you get it, the environmental office here in town has, we always use the state services because we know that we can depend on the state being correct and doing it right so that we don't have a problem later. But they go in and they drill holes, and they have soil scientists that study this. I don't know all the details of it. We leave it to them once they get there. That's what the owners are paying them for, so let them do their test. But I've never quite understood when you say, does it perk for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 4 bedrooms, or what? You think it would be involving the bathroom because it's septic. But the way the state looks at it is how many people are going to live there is probably going to have a bedroom. So they do it for bedrooms, not how many baths you're going to have.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people don't know that. And you don't want to, and especially if you're going to buy a house, not just land, but you want to know if it's on septic system, how many bedrooms is it perked for? Because if it's maybe perked for only 2 bedrooms, but there's 4 bedrooms in the house because they've used it one as an office or one as a hobby room or whatever, they called it something else. But if you get ready to resell it, you say, well, that's okay. I got 4 rooms to have 4 beds. I'm okay. But when you get ready to resell it, you have to show that it's only perked for a 2-bedroom. And a lot of times people will not buy a house if they know it's not perked for the number of bedrooms they need, because it is a detriment in selling that.
Yeah.
But that's what perking means. And you get your perk letter, you get your permit, because you've got to show that permit to the building people before they'll give you a building permit to build on the property. So a lot of people go out and buy land. They come to us, well, we bought this lot. Now it won't perk. What do we do? Or we want a 4-bedroom house and it only perks for 3. What do we do? So we hook them up with the proper people, because there are alternatives to the way they can perk it. And if the property is up on a hill, sometimes you got to have a gravity system, because the water has got to run up the hill to where the house is. So, there's all kinds of systems, and then there's step systems for like a big community like Clay Estates is on a step system that serves the whole area of property.
Well, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What if you got a sewer? If you have access to sewer, how does that
Now,
play?
if you have access to hook on to the city sewer, you don't have to have a septic permit or a septic perk site, because
don't have to worry about that.
That's right.
Okay.
You're hooked on. Now, this is another thing. If you live out on a road that when you bought your house, you're on septic, and you've been on septic all these years, and there are subdivisions in these city limits that are still on septic. They get ready to sell the house. They think they're on sewer because they pay that sewer bill and they're in a city. Well, a lot of houses are still hooked up to septic. Now, if the person's getting an FHA loan or a VA loan, the buyer is, that house has to be, if that sewer's running in front of your house, you have to hook onto it as the owner before you can sell it, unless the buyer is okay with that.
Yeah.
So if sewer is available in front of you and you have not hooked on, beware if you're getting ready to sell your house. So I'll let Medina go, but there's lots more on septic, but that's all I'll do on that today.
I tell you what, I learned something every Friday. What do you got, Medina?
I'll talk about something a little bit cleaner than a septic. So, anyway, we're going to have a condo coming soon on the market. It's in Deer Park, condominiums off of Castle Heights. There's not an age requirement. Some of the condos are 55 or over or 65 or over. There's not a age requirement here. And it's going to be at 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths. It has a loft, which could be a 3rd bedroom if you wanted to. Or you could just keep it 2 bedrooms and use the loft as storage. And it has basically 2 separate living areas where you have a living room, and then another area you have a den. And it's a full kitchen. You have your own laundry room. This one is got a covered carport, covered area in between the house and the garage, 2-car garage. And it's in a great, Deer Park is an established condominium area. And so it's going to be coming soon. And if anybody is looking to be in a condominium in the city off of Castle Heights without any age requirements, give us a call, and that will be coming up here in a couple of weeks.
615-443-3130.
Yes, and it's a little bit over 1,700 square feet as well.
Right.
And it's all one level except for the loft.
All right. Miss Judy knows all the rules, and you got all the property to say.
I do all the dirty work, okay?
Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Don't make a move without us.
All right. C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. Don't make a move without us. They're people you can trust. We are 18 minutes before the hour. My friend Marilyn Bryant joins us this morning. You want to stay where you are? Yes, sir. All right. We'll turn that mic around a little bit.
We got me on?
That one is up to MJ, but yes, you're on.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And we associate you quite a bit with Center Stage Theater, and today will be no exception. But a lot of things for us to talk about, and you brought a guest with you this morning that is going to add to what we have to say as well. So why don't you do the introduction here?
Okay, sir. Anyway, good morning, and thank you so much for having us. Yes, I am still the Auntie M of Center Stage Theater, and we just wanted to sort of catch an update on how life has been affected due to the COVID protocol. And with that, the inability to continue with live theater has been affected. I can't believe that it's been a little over a year since we've had a live performance, which our last live performance was at Coleman University for Aquila and the Bee last February. And since then...
So it's been over a year.
Yeah, over a year. And it's frustrating to not be able to do that, but it's also takes away our ability for the output of the people who are so involved in our Center Stage family. And we have to figure out different ways to stay active, different ways to stay contribute.
Yeah. Well, let me approximately, how many people are we talking about that's affiliated with Center Stage Theater?
Well, it's approximately those that have been involved in the acting and the shows and the putting on of the production.
Yeah,
we're talking about upwards of 30 to 30 or more people.
50 maybe.
Yeah, 50. Because we do have the youth theater group, part of our group, which we always put on the youth performances and not able to do that. Then we have our mix of adult and youth. And the lady that is accompanying me today is one of our, I would say, variety all around the board type of person. She came into us as an acting.
Yes.
She's also directed. She's also, she'll fill you in on all the different things that we have done. In addition to that, she is a young adult book author, multi-published, and she has produced a audiobook and will fill us in. Her name is Donna Driver, and I'll introduce her to fill you in on what she is and how she's involved.
All right. Well, Donna Driver, welcome to our program. I don't think I've met you previously.
No,
if I have,
it's
I
nice
don't
to meet you.
remember. And we need to go to a break in a moment here. But where are you from? Or you lived here all your life?
I'm originally from California, but I've been here in Tennessee for 18 years now, and I live in Mount Juliet.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and take our break. We have Marilyn Bryant, Donna Driver here. A lot more to talk about after this break on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota. They have large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday, free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic. Here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's got busy all of a sudden. They're working that wreck right now in the Jolton area. It's got traffic slow. Here we go. 24 eastbound. It's just prior to Whites Creek Pike. It's going to back up pretty good there in the next few minutes because behind it, you got all that traffic coming in from Clarksville, Montgomery County, trying to get through this section of Jolton right now. And this crash is not helping. On 24 eastbound, it's just prior to Whites Creek Pike. Long Hollow Pike at Cartwright, we saw 2 cars involved there in Goodlettsville. Check out the Andre Chicken Sandwich, now available at Prince's Hot Chicken. They're online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The 33rd Annual Tennessee Beef Agribition returns to the James E. Ward Agricultural Center in Lebanon, March 12th through the 14th. The show and sale on Friday and Saturday will feature 5 different events, including Simmental, Hereford Horned and Pooled, Shorthorn, Angus, and Charolais. The Agribition Junior Show takes place Sunday. The 2021 Agribition will feature one of the largest trade shows in the Southeast, March 12th through the 14th at the James E. Ward Agricultural Center in Lebanon.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
I'm Randy Salas, inviting you to listen to me and Jake Hood as we broadcast the 2021 Cumberland University baseball season. You won't want to miss any of the action in Coach Woody Hunt's final season at the helm of the Phoenix. All home games will be broadcast this year, weekday games on WCOR 1490 AM and weekend and night games on both WCOR and WANT FM 98.9. All games can be seen and heard on GoCumberlandAthletics.com at no charge, and you can also get your scheduling information there. Congratulations, Coach Woody Hunt, and go Phoenix.
Coleman and Company, our final segment here for a Friday morning. And if you just turned your radio our way, we thank you. And we're thanking Marilyn Bryant and Donna Driver for making their way out this morning. They're involved with the Center Stage Theater Company. And as most of you probably know, Marilyn grew up here and is a big Yankee fan. We were talking baseball in the break here, but you got involved in Center Stage Theater some time ago. You've done a lot of productions here in the last, I guess, 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
And we've talked about many of them here. And, of course, for the last year, haven't been able to do that because of what we've had to go through with the virus and so on. Donna Driver's here this morning, originally from L.A., now in Mount Juliet, and we just got started with you. How did the two of you get together?
Oh, well, I met Marilyn and Center Stage Theater almost exactly 4 years ago when my husband and I were cast in To Kill a Mockingbird. He played Atticus Finch. And we've been doing shows with them ever since. I've been in 3 of their shows and directed 2 of them, including Miracle on 34th Street and Our Town.
You love doing that.
I do,
This is kind of like some other things, I guess. With me, it's kind of radio got into my blood, I think. This is
what I went to school for.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a theater major from the University of California, Irvine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Marilyn mentioned some books, I believe you've authored.
Yes, in addition to acting and directing, I am also a published author. I have about 19 books out, and most of them are young adult.
What's inspired you to go that route?
I think that I'm just so creatively minded that I kind of lean to the right slightly. I've been writing since my early 20s. I used to write songs and books, and I started publishing as DG Driver about 7 years ago. And
what kind of songs you written?
Well, back in my 20s, I actually wrote country songs and folk songs. And I was in a little country folk act out in California. Yeah. I had dreams of being a country singer. So this project that we just did, Songwriter Night, kind of stems from those old memories.
Yeah. What brought you to Tennessee?
Well, originally came here after 9/11. My husband worked in television, and we came here for a job and moved here. But I love it here. I absolutely love it here.
Well, we welcome you, and although it's been a while now, what's the message today? I mean, you're not going to be doing any theater, any live performance in the foreseeable future, I don't think. But I mean, that could change in 3 months' time here,
right.
if things go very favorably. And a lot of these restrictions are lifted, and COVID is pretty much gone.
Yeah, we've actually started planning this out. In the interim, what I'd like Donna to speak is concerning this audiobook.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how it gives the outlet available to quite a few of our Center Stage family. So Donna, why don't you fill? Yeah.
All right. What is an audio book? I think I know, but I want to hear.
Right. Okay. So an audiobook is simply just a book that's recorded that you listen to. What we did last year when a lot of the theaters closed down is everyone was trying to find ways to do shows virtually. Center Stage did a show called Soul on Broadway, which they showed on YouTube. There was no live audience. They just recorded it and put it on YouTube. Different theaters have been doing that. And I got an idea because I'm also a writer. Like, what if I wrote a book that was also a musical? We hired a cast of actors to come into the studio and record it and make the whole thing like a radio play. So it has full narration like a novel, which is a little different than a radio play. And it's about 3 hours long to listen to. But the fun thing about it that's different from other virtual shows, you don't have to tune in at a particular time. You just download it to your computer or your phone or your tablet, and you can listen to it whenever you want to.
Now, is there a charge for this?
Yeah, it's like $5.
Yeah.
It's very cheap.
That's pretty
yeah.
normal. Most
yeah.
you do the work. I mean, there's a lot that you've put into this.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a monetary venture, so to speak. But
it is.
Well, what's happened so far?
It was released in January, so it's still very new, and people are still discovering it. And the thing that's fun is the 12 actors that are in it are all from our community here. So I wrote the book and the lyrics for it, and Caleb Dinger, who is a music director here in town and a songwriter, helped me with all the songs. And then all the performers, 8 of them have been in Center Stage Theater shows, including Mitchell Van Treese, who runs Center Stage Theater. 2 of them, yeah, 2 of them have been in Audience of One productions here in Lebanon, and the rest of them are all from shows at the Larry Keaton Theater, where we also perform a lot.
Who would this most appeal to?
It really is going to appeal to anyone who likes musical comedy and country music. Okay. Yeah, because the story...
Well, that ought to be everybody's listening.
Yeah, it's a sweet, fun story about 2 songwriters who meet one day, and he invites her to his songwriting group to get to know her better, and it's just a fun, quirky evening until a competitor shows up who's got a song on the radio and is there to show off, and now Lyle's worried he's going to lose the girl to the guy who's famous, and it's funny. It's got toe tapping songs, all acoustic.
Yeah, and that whole scene is like a country song anyway.
It is.
She done broke my heart.
Yes, absolutely.
There's always a story.
We kind of have a song like that.
Okay, now maybe we've whetted a few appetites here. Where you go to find that?
Well, it's really easy to find. You can get it pretty much any website where you get audiobooks or podcasts. But honestly, the very easiest way to get it is to go to Google Play or Apple Books, to those websites. It's Songwriter Night, and you just download it, and all you got to do is just plug in your earphones and listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first venture like this?
It's my first time doing something like this. Yeah, every show that I've directed or written in the past has been a stage show. Every book I've written in the past has been just a regular book. Yeah, So, yeah.
But here again, this is a way to get around what we've had to deal with.
It is, absolutely. Right. It was a way to provide opportunities for some people to do some acting and singing. And they do a great job of it. And it took us like 6 months to put this together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's hope you get a little monetary reward for all your hard work.
Well, thanks. I mean, we kept it priced really low to make it super available to people because, I mean, obviously that would be nice. But the main thing is we just want to have something for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Marilyn put you on the spot a little bit. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. I've been watching the development of it, and I will, now that it's released, definitely go in and listen to it. And very proud that we've got, as I mentioned, we've got 9 people who have contributed to it. And what is good about it, it has provided that outlet that our performers need.
Well, can we maybe see more of this if things stay like they are?
Well, if things stay like they are.
Although I honestly have. We've seen, I believe it's Texas, the governor's just relaxed everything.
Right.
We're seeing, as the numbers came from Senator Pody this morning, there are less people being affected, less in the hospital.
Right.
It's like
and all of
light
right.
at the end of the tunnel.
Things will relax. In fact, we're already planning into our next season, which amazingly enough, we can't believe that our anniversary as a stated theater company in June will be 5 years. We're going into our 6th season. When I first met Mitchell and Brady Quisberg, who put together and created and founded the Center Stage Theater, was back in 2016. And we've managed to, and without a theater space, we've managed to grow, and I call us the little engine that could. We find
you actually had one out in the cow pasture, didn't you? Sort of. I'm exaggerating.
Well,
you wasn't it one outdoors?
Not yet. We took the pictures outdoors, but bringing that up, we are sort of have some things in the work when you say what can we do as alternatives, and we did the youth talent show, which was able to give our youth some outlet for their frustrations because they're all, it's bad enough they can't go to school and they can't do this. So we've did the youth theater on YouTube, and had quite a few people who watched that. We do have plans to start our next season, and as I said, hopefully we'll be able to start again with live performances in September. And so we've already laid out our next season where we'll start with September, then we'll have a December show. And in the meantime, if we don't, we're considering some other virtual performances or virtual plays, and we consider doing it outside because there are the social distancing.
We got about 30 seconds.
Okay.
If somebody wants to see your production here, tell us again the easiest way.
The easiest way I have all the links to it on my website, which is dgdriver.com. But the easiest way to get it is Google Play or Apple Books. It's called Songwriter Night, a musical romance.
Songwriter Night, a musical romance.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's hope you get some hits on that.
Thank you.
If that's the right way to say it. Donna Driver, really good to have you with us, and we wish you well. And Marilyn, keep on keeping on. You get another production going. Give us a holler. We'll give you a little.
We'll be back.
All right. That's going to do it for Friday. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Till Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.